As you saw, at least on the North Carolina front, the state was a mixed bag for both Democrats and Republicans. Donald Trump won North Carolina, but Republicans lost the races for some of the state's top offices, which some Democrats say is a light in whatever frustration they may have about the presidential result. Queen City News anchor Derek Dellinger is live near Uptown with the reaction from Democrats and Republicans to those results. Derek, there was even an acknowledgement that the governor's race did affect things down ballot.
Yes, and it is being called the Robinson effect. And not only are they saying that this affect the governor's race, but also at least lieutenant governor's race and the attorney general's race. Both Republicans and Democrats are acknowledging this.
The results of the election are something that many are still trying to figure out. In North Carolina, though, the results, frankly, are more of what the state is known for. Voting for the president one way, but voting for governor another way. And while this may not be out of the norm, the results do offer a blunt reality for both Republicans and Democrats in the state.
Yes, the Republicans still have the majority in the General Assembly, but Josh Stein's veto pin.
Chris Cooper is a political science professor at Western Carolina University who says that the next 4 years, at least in the state, will be interesting, given that Josh Stein will have more power than current Governor Roy Cooper.
In terms of the state government, I imagine we're going to see a lot of stalemate. Again, some folks are going to like that, some won't.
But while it may sound like things back to normal for North Carolina, the results are bound to get a closer look. Tuesday night, as outgoing Republican Congressman Dan Bishop made his concession speech in the Attorney General's race, we asked him about how the North Carolina governor's race, and particularly Mark Robinson's controversial Republican run in that race, affected his own chances.
One could interpret that as the Robinson effect.
Well, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I would think that probably stands to reason. I don't know where, I'm curious as I stand here, I don't really know.
Honestly, I didn't see anything different from what Mark Robinson was saying and Donald Trump was saying. Why pick one over the other? But apparently voters decided they'd vote for Donald Trump and they'd vote for Josh Stein.
Jane Whitley is head of the Democratic Women of Mecklenburg County and former head of the county Democratic Party. She says Democrats do have a lot to be happy about, at least in North Carolina. She did, however, note that Democrats will have to extend their get out the vote and reach out efforts.
Voter turnout when I was chair in 2020 in the midst of a pandemic of 72%. Precinct chairs felt empowered. And different neighborhoods do different things differently. So we have to listen to people, meet them where they are, listen to their concerns.
And on the Republican side, a blunt assessment from U.S. Senator Thom Tillis in an interview Wednesday morning on WBT Radio.
It's bad for Mr. Robinson. It's the worst gubernatorial blowout, I think, since 1980. But we've got to do a better job of fully vetting.
Much of the focus, though, is nationally, which for now is getting all the attention.
The headline is and will remain Donald Trump won.
Now, I had a chance to speak with Dan Bishop last night. I was actually covering his campaign for election night over in Monroe. And we got a sense from him as to what he believes is going to be the point of success in North Carolina for Republicans in the future. He did make a point of saying this: the quality of the Democratic candidates, especially at the top of the state tickets, at least on the Democratic Party side, is quite strong. And they need to find similar candidates on the Republican side if they are ever going to have a chance of maintaining or getting back to that control over at the top of the state. We're live near Uptown. Derek Dellinger, Queen City News.